everybody. Welcome to day 13 of the Broadcast Your Brilliance Summit. And today we have Sara Spisak on the Broadcast Your Brilliance Summit. Sara is an intuitive life and business coach. And Sara, I think the last thing we think about is everything but, scripts and marketing and copy and what's the perfect thing to say and the question to ask. But what does energy have to do with building a successful business? And successful might be subjective. Well, it is subjective, right, for everybody. But let's say successful in the way like it feels good. We're drawing in the right people. We are in abundance. What does energy have to do with this process?
Energy is everything, really. So with that being said, as an entrepreneur, we are in control of everything within our businesses. And energy needs to be like top of our lists as far as alignment. So when we are in perfect energetic alignment with our goals for our business, that is when the abundance comes in. That's when the ideal client comes in, right? That's when the money comes from expected and unexpected sources. That's when opportunities come your way to build your business that maybe you hadn't sought out or, wanted, but it found you. So when you are not energetically aligned, I guarantee we can all agree that you get the wrong clients. You will attract clients that drain you. You will attract clients you have to chase for payment. You will not feel energized after your sessions or after you're finished working with your clients. And that is such a disservice to you. Number one, it's a disservice to your business and it's a disservice to your clients. Mm-hmm. So I personally feel like energy is everything. Aligned energy is everything within our businesses. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Because where the energy is flowing, that's where everything is being manifested. So you want to make sure that energy is high vibe, you're feeling awesome, it's aligned with your goals, it's aligned with you and your heart space and where you're aligning in order to serve your audience. So I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. I remember when I first got into like holistic healing, or in my case as a hypnotist, this concept of energy was so abstract. I was almost picturing like the movies, like energy, like sound waves or something. So
or science class or something like that. In high school. Yeah.
And there's so many videos out there, like how to tap into your energy, put your hands on your belly and all this kind of stuff. And really, it really came down to a simple answer. So Sara, would you mind how would you describe energy? Like, how do we know what type of energy we are in maybe when we're like, let's say putting out a live stream or putting out, even just typing an email, right? Because we can, people can feel our energy through text, email,
posts on social media. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a great question. So if you're in a funk, if you're in that, and we all get there, we all get in those funky vibes where it's like, what is wrong with me? Like, I'm just not feeling like myself. Everything's annoying me. Like, I have no patience with my kids. When you honor that and recognize that, go for a walk, put on some music that you love. Go do something that you personally enjoy, reading a book, taking a nap, doing a workout. Because when you're not in that energetic alignment, excuse me, that's other people can feel that. Excuse me 1 second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's an incredible, and this is not something that you have to like build over time, right? You can shift in, out really quick when you get good at this. But yeah, Sara, if you would continue about, why not just continue to post, right? Because we need money, right? Oftentimes like, well, we need money. So I have to talk to this client today. I have to put out that video or this post. And is it even really worth it if we're like stressed out or we haven't had enough sleep, or maybe there's something else we need to change in terms of the way we're posting?
Absolutely not. excuse me, I have a little bit of a cold. Do not post, do not message clients, don't do anything in that spectrum of serving or earning money. You almost don't want to muddy the waters there. Excuse me. So with that being said, if you need to take 2 or 3 days off, take 2 or 3 days off. It's not going to slow down your business, because when you get back into it and you're serving from that high vibe state and that high energy, and you're excited for all of the possibilities that are coming in, all of the high vibe clients, all of the income you're making, think about energetically from that standpoint, how much higher you are vibrationally versus down here when you're in that funk and you're just, nothing is feeling right. You're annoyed, you're impatient, all of these things. Giving yourself that time off helps this energy to build. And then once you hop back in, you're all the way up here, and then you're just gonna go even higher. And when you're in that higher vibe state from this rest that you've given yourself, from this 3 days off, just give yourself that permission to be in nature, take a walk, go see a friend, go see a movie, read a book. You're regenerating your energy so that when you come back, you're in such a better state.
Yeah. And I can certainly vouch for this. I remember my first 2 summits, when I compare my energy in during this summit to that summit, like huge difference. And I know one just like you were saying, like one thing I tell my clients is like, look, if you're angry, if you're feeling resentful, or you're stressed out, like, do not reach out to people, because they will feel that, and they may or may not think it's about them, right? So we can't control that. So it's almost like the way you come off is so important, because it's either going to put people right into like fight or flight, or it's going to draw people in, right? So
absolutely, yes. And we are all energetic beings. So if I'm vibrating one way and I'm annoyed, I'm tired, what are all those things, those low vibe things, excuse me, guess what you're going to attract when you post, when you message, when you respond? You don't want that. You don't want to be in that energetic funk where now you've got these clients that you're so excited to have clients, right? And I'm so excited to serve and to offer my service. But you want to offer it to the right people who are up here, who are energetically aligned with you. And I think there's one thing that I teach is ease, grace, and flow versus hustle, grind. Because the hustle, grind energy will grind you right into the ground. So, and when you're there, how good can you be for your clients, for yourself, for your prospective clients? You always want to be as high vibe as you can in order to attract. They're showing, I'm a intuitive, and spirit saying like bees to honey, right? Like you just want those higher vibe, those like really feel good, nourishing clients, instead of the ones that take, and there's that energetic misalignment leaving you so off and needing to take more breaks. Right? You want to be in total flow with your business.
Yeah.
And you also have to really remember the universe will never dissuade you. The universe will never steer you wrong. So, and in working with the universe, if you're that in alignment and you're in the alignment with your manifestations energetically, the universe has no choice but to serve you and give back those things that you're wanting. But when you're down here, misaligned, in those lower vibe states, the universe has no choice but to send you more of that too. So
that's where you probably feel like you're fighting, you're trying to push a rock uphill. You're like, where's all the clients? Where's all the clients who can afford me? I remember I used to ask the question, and also I think consistency here plays a big role too. Like one thing that I have found and struggled in the past with myself is like, you don't get that click. You don't get that like, you don't get that like, or you don't get a comment. And so then your energy shifts down, or get disappointed or discouraged. And so your energy is like this.
So true.
And then you wonder why your audience is like this.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you could just be consistent with your posting, but in alignment, and just who cares how many likes you get, how many shares, the right people are going to find you. It's just a matter of you being out there enough energetically aligned to those high vibe clients.
Yeah. Yep. So how do we know what energy we're in? Like, is there like I know there's not really a guidebook or a rule book about this, but what's like, how can we, like, if we're to ask ourselves, like, should I post right now? Or should I do a live stream right now? Like, what's a good sort, maybe like a rule of thumb to go by?
That's a good question. One rule that so I'm sure we all know about the masculine and the feminine, right? The masculine would be like, post all the time. You've got to post 3 times a day, no matter what you're feeling, you've got to get it done, right? And the feminine's like, well, I'll just post when I feel like it. I'm going to be flowy about it. Maybe I'll post this day, and then maybe I'll post this tomorrow. So there's really no consistency there, right? So we kind of want to be in that middle ground where we have a structure. Maybe our goal is 6 times a week. We want to post on Instagram, right? And maybe our goal is 10 new followers a week, something like that. So, set out what I've been doing is I set out my posts ahead of time, Sundays, so that I feel that week coming as an intuitive. I lean in, spirit, what should I be posting this week? What will you have me do? What does my audience need? And I'll go through that way and I'll plan that way. But if I'm not feeling it, there's one post actually I want to change for this week. I'm going to go back and do that. But as a business and as an entrepreneur, you want to be able to be consistent within your posting so enough people see you. But also, if you plan ahead, I found that helps me a lot, because say Thursday, I just don't feel like posting. I'm tired. The kids got me in the morning. I'm kind of all off. At least I already have that planned and going, because that's the masculine side, right? The feminine side is, what do I feel like posting this week? What does my audience need? And I flow into that and I have that outlined. Because if you're too flowy with your business, you're too much in the feminine, you're not consistent enough. And you do need that middle ground. You definitely don't want to be all the way over in the masculine and all the way over in the feminine. You do want to be in that middle ground so that, okay, I'm posting 6 times a week, whatever it is. I've got it laid out. There's systems you can use to plan ahead and just have them sent out. You can have an assistant, someone to help you. But that way they're done. And then we as entrepreneurs, spiritual entrepreneurs, excuse me, we're not caught up in the social media either, because that can get really draining.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm so glad you pointed that out, because we forget that everything around us is energy as well. Like this phone sitting next to me, there's a vibration coming from that. Or, my computer, this Fit, is it a Fitbit or a watch?
My Apple Watch. I always take this off for sessions because of the energy that comes off of it. And I do wear it all day, but I just know there's energy in this. I put my phone and my whatever's near me at night on airplane mode so that that energy isn't affecting my sleep. But yeah, you're right. Everything is energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was interesting over the weekend. I don't know how many of you out there watching the Johnny Depp trial, but I'm like having a great day. I'm like getting ready to work out. Next thing you know, I'm going through the Facebook reels. And
so bad. Yeah.
Next thing you know, I'm angry and I'm like,
yes.
And I'm just like, this is not my trial. Like,
yeah,
getting angry.
You're so right. That's another good point, right? The things we read, the things we watch, the people we listen to, they could be energy givers or energy takers.
Yeah.
So you really need to be cognizant of what you're spending your time doing. We're all guilty. I've been sucked into Lifetime movies lately, and they're so they're not the worst thing you could watch, but they're very not the best for high energy. But as a spiritual entrepreneur, we really need to be careful and cognizant of what we're taking in, because I'm sure a lot of you, like myself, are empathic. So we're like literal energetic sponges. So you really need to be careful of what you're eating, drinking, where you're spending your free time, what you're reading, just because you're taking all of those vibrations in. And why not intentionally be as highest vibe as we can?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think a great example I saw over the weekend was like you know how they have on Facebook, they have like, you can pick like your avatar and the avatar shows up in an emotion. They have one for like anger and there's like fire. And I saw a post on Saturday about someone who went on like a crappy date and who was unhappy, and they had this rage and fire emoji. And I was just like,
yeah.
like, I was like, I think I'm ready to defriend this person because like I could feel the heat coming through that. And then, you know, what was interesting was I looked at the people who were responding and they were all angry, upset, well, fuck this and language, but you know, screw them and that. And I was just like, oh my God, that is an incredible example of like, look how, you know, anger attracts anger, resentment attracts resentment. So what do you think, like
happiness, gratitude. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I love it. And that's one thing, as a spiritual entrepreneur, even as just an entrepreneur on social media, you should never post anything with like those angry emojis or anything like that, because you want people to come to your page as like a feel good vibe. They want to leave feeling good.
Yeah.
So excuse me, just something to keep in mind, because did you leave that post feeling uplifted?
No, I felt like fearful. I was like, oh my God, I used to like hang out with this person. I was like,
yeah,
why that didn't work out now.
yeah. And I will say, back in the day, when in my 20s, I was more negative and pessimistic, I guess you could say. And I look back, you know, Facebook will pop up your old posts or whatever in your memories. And I remember at that time, like one of my posts would be like, oh, studying all day and like, you know, sad face or something. And it was just never, it was always to vent. And at that point in my life, I can look back now and be like, well, no wonder why nothing good was happening, because I was so pessimistic and like, just, it was like a curse on myself almost, because like attracts like, and I was struggling, living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, granted, I was in my 20s, but still, you know, it wasn't until I like learned about The Secret 20 something years ago and was like, wow, okay, there is more out there and I can control my life essentially with my energy, with my emotions and the vibrations that I put out into the universe.
Yeah. And I want to make sure like there's no confusion here. This is not about being positive all the time. Like pretending, you know what? Someone hit me today at a traffic light and you know everything's fantastic and beautiful.
Right.
That's not what we're talking about.
Well, because we're human, right? We're all human. Absolutely. No, this is not to say like you have to walk around with, what is it called now? Like toxic positivity.
Now it's called that. Yeah.
No, like we're all normal, right? We all have the ups, and that's why we're here on earth, is to experience the emotions, the emotional planet. So, but what we can do in those moments is just really look at it, like witness it. Okay, I'm pissed off right now. I have zero patience. What is up? What is going on? And no judgment, no getting down on ourselves, just saying, okay, this is my red flag. I need a break. Maybe I need a week off. That's what I've done. You know, when I start getting resentful of my time, or, you know, I miss my kids more and I want to just be on the couch, like those are my red flags to say, okay, I need to maybe take a week or take some time off just to be a mom, just to be a wife, just to be doing laundry during the day, or, you know what I mean? And that's just our kind of radar, because our emotions are speaking to us. So what is it telling you? What are you feeling that maybe you're ignoring? And our bodies are like, knock, 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 please pay attention. We need some space, or we need some time, or we need some fun or rest in our lives.
Yeah. Even positivity can be draining, right? Like even excitement can be draining, right? So I think I know there was an illusion in my head, at least, that like, oh, only negative emotions drain you. And I was like, I realized like, no, actually even getting excited and happy and joyful is actually draining. So you may need to charge just from hanging out at a party with your friends, or,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Oh yeah. So always try to stay in that middle zone
Mhm.
instead of the pendulum up here or up here. Just try to stay here as
Yeah.
much as we can. But like we said, we're all human. So
Yeah, I would say just, yeah, like you said earlier, like be careful with like throwing temper tantrums all over social media, because what's going to happen there, especially it breaks like the pattern. And especially if you've been, it depends what your goal is, right? If you
yeah.
want people to think you're an angry person, then keep doing it.
Not my goal, but okay.
But just going back to what you're saying about being in alignment, I found some of the most powerful posts I've put out there were because I was like in alignment. And when I say in alignment, I mean also like in that moment. So if I was feeling fearful, like I was feeling fearful about letting my government contracting clearance expire, like a couple last week. And I put up a post and I said, oh my gosh, I just realized my clearance is going to expire soon. It's worth over $100,000. And I was just like, took a picture of myself like, oh my God. And I had so many comments and likes, and it was just because there was no trying to put on a performance or no misalignment, right? Like I'm feeling a certain way and I'm showing it, right? Boom.
Yeah.
And
I totally agree with you. And I've meant to say something like that within my posting suggestions, because what I found is when I do that too, yes, absolutely, that's when it's like a skyrockets. But what I found with myself is I wasn't being consistent enough to be showing up in enough people's feeds or whatever to grow my business. So I 100% agree with you with that, because, and that's often what I was doing. I just feel this, let me say it, or a quote comes in and you're like, oh my God, I got to write about this. But there is such a thing as the social media game too. And trying to, all the algorithms and all that. Like, I don't get into that, but I just feel like if I can be consistent enough and speaking from my heart, that's a key to exposing yourself more. But absolutely, if you ever feel inspired to write a post, go live, create a course, whatever it is, that's your, Spirit just said, that's your digital download from us. You've got to act on it. Like, we've given it to you, but you have to then take action.
Yeah. And guys, like this is where it's at. I mean, this I think is true success, is when you're not just building a business and attracting clients, but you're filled up from your business. You're excited about who you're working with. It's not just money coming in and churn and burn, which I think a lot of times I think this is the place we end up at if we are not being intentional with our energy. I just recorded the VIP promotional video for this summit, and I spent a whole week on that video. And I'll tell you why. It wasn't because of what I said was off. It wasn't because I had some in the background. It wasn't because of what I was wearing. It was because my energy was not on point. And it took probably 30 something takes, but I was like, there's the energy right there. And I had the energy on point.
Yes. I totally feel you on that. Yeah.
So this is something, you guys out there get to start to really hone in on and pay attention to, especially if you're like, I've got clients, but I'm drained. I'm not being paid enough. I'm underselling myself. I feel like I have to barter and battle and everything's an uphill. This is where you can start to fine tune all of that and clean it up. Like, it's almost effortlessly, right? It's almost effortless when you just start to sit and get in alignment before your sales calls, before you go live, instead of I used to wake up and just run to work. I can't do that.
Oh, me too. Oh God. And I hated it.
Yeah.
If I could just offer one tip.
Yes, please.
Before you sit down and do your work, get excited about what you get to do, right? Get your head and your energy in that space of like, this is awesome. There's no cap to what I can earn. There's no cap to how many people I can serve. I'm creative. I'm using this gift that I've been given. I can go for a walk on a Tuesday in the middle of a gorgeous day if I want. Like, do whatever you can to get in that zone, in that energetic state of excitement, of gratitude for what you're doing, and then go do your work.
Mhm.
Because that energy is just going to be limitless for you as far as ease, grace, and flow within your business.
Mhm. And when we say energetic, I don't think we're talking about doing jumping jacks like before
No.
you
I
get
mean, you can.
I get this like image of people, oh, energy, I gotta just jump up and down a few times.
Down.
Yeah, maybe put on some music, or if that's what lights you up. I know, Tony, look at Tony Robbins, look what he does before he
Yeah.
events, right? Like, get the energy, get the music. And if music's great, but yeah, we're not talking about like, let's work out and do push-ups. So we're talking about like an emotional.
Yes. Just like what you were saying about that post, like you were reading and you're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, I'm so mad. I'm so icky feeling. Turn it around and be like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I can do this. I get to do that. I get to help this person heal. This is so exciting. Like, put your mind on like a tailspin of just all the exciting things, how great your life is, how amazing the opportunities are for you. Get yourself excited. We have that capability up here. And then that transmutes into energy. And then think of your energy as a magnet. Then you go out, and I guarantee, along with some other things like with manifesting and visualization, you will attract your ideal, most high vibe, nourishing clients versus the opposite.
Absolutely. And it's worth fine tuning this skill. It only took me 15 years, but it doesn't have to take you that long. You can reach Sara. And well, as speaking of that, Sara, I know you have a free gift for this audience.
Yes, I do.
What can you?
Yes. So I've created an ebook of 77 affirmations that were all channeled to me from spirit. And affirmations are huge, 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 huge. They will transform your life. Excuse me. With my clients, I have them religiously practicing their affirmations. So please be sure to download that, utilize it. Another thing you can do is I have a Pinterest board of just affirmations that I will sit in the morning as I'm sipping my coffee, like waking up, and just run through some affirmations that really speak to me that day. Say them over and over and over again. My life has like totally changed because of that. So
yeah, I mean, the way we speak to ourselves is all affirmations, right? So what are you saying to yourself? And if you need some guidance with changing your language or changing your dialogue with yourself, then go grab this. This is a free gift from Sara to get you going. Like, this is, look, if you're struggling with showing up feeling good in live streams, like not all of us are good to go right before we do a video. I know I'm not as well, but you can practice now getting into that place intentionally using this free gift. So scroll down below this video, click the link. It's only available from 48 hours from the time this email sent out. So go get it now. Start repeating these things to yourself. It's all about rinse and repeat, right? Rinse and repeat.
Yes.
And get in the high vibe state to attract your high vibe, excited clients.
Yes, the nourishing clients.
I love that word, nourishing on both sides.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. So scroll down, click the link, go grab Sara's free gift. And Sara, I know we could talk all day about this, but but thank you all for being here and joining us today on the broadcast.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.